I kind of wanted to leave my last video to be where I'm responding to that atheist perspective of Christianity destroying reason or whatever. Where it's a woman who's reading from a sheet of paper, can't pronounce the mission, and never read the Church Fathers and thinks they can come on YouTube and lie about the first 500 years of Christianity. But I have to say, this guy Jonathan Fisk, now he's not Eastern Orthodox, and he has a he's wrong in all the ways a Westerner would be wrong, but he's dead on when talking about the evangelicals. This guy, I want to shake him and say, why the hell aren't you Orthodox? But it's Augustine of Hippo and Anselm of Canterbury. But for Western, he is very, I mean, this is like the closest thing to orthodoxy. His critique of the evangelicals is dead on. And watching this video, I mean, I haven't even gotten all the way through. I mean, I've seen some of his videos before, and they just dead on. I mean, awesome. Now, he'll allude to penal substitution and stuff like that, but you can't fault him for that. Is the answer really more of me? And he's the, I mean, I've been saying that faith alone thing, the evangelicals, antinomianism or whatever it is just doctrine alone, because you have to believe exactly like they do in all the ways they do, and it's works motivated. That's all the evangelicals are. It's works based, even though they preach the opposite. It's kind of like exactly how I talk about the Gnostics. He does a fantastic job, and he's a Protestant, and well, I don't even want to call him Protestant. That's too much of a slam. I'm amazed at somebody being in the West and being so dead on about the evangelicals. It actually gives me hope. And as I always say, hold to your baptism in the Eucharist. And if a demon ever tries to, come to you, just say, I have the Eucharist and baptism. I have my baptism, I have the Eucharist. And even if you're a catechumen, you do not have that yet, say I have Christ, and the Theotokos is praying for me, and all the saints in heaven are praying for me. And at the name of the Theotokos of Blessed Virgin Mary, they scream and run away. It's kind of a happy sadness of, I want to say, why aren't you Orthodox? But it's, in so many ways, he is Orthodox and mystically part of the church. I mean, he's holding to his baptism, believing in the Trinity, telling other people to do so, affirming the real presence in the Eucharist without going into transubstantiation. And it's, but he's coming at it from another angle. A lot of the terminology and the view is very Protestant. Again, the penal substitution from Anselm and the Augustinian views of original sin and stuff like that, and not that he probably does hold to not the original sin, but ancestral sin as we see it. But if there are those who are responsible enough in faith, or and want to see a very good critique of the evangelicals and hear a good message about holding to the Eucharist and baptism, check out his videos. It's amazing to me that somebody who is not from any apostolic line, who's been severed since 1054, whose bishops have been severed since 1054, and then severed from the Latin West for 500 years, would have so much of the teaching of the apostles that they were managed to salvage that. If we're going by Tertullian's view of apostolic succession, we're still not in communion with them, which is what Tertullian is saying. But look at what's going on. The Orthodox Church has always contended, we know where the church is, we don't know where it's not. We know where the Holy Spirit is, we don't know where he's not. He can go wherever he wills. And you see people like this. You see this guy, Jonathan Fisk, preaching the Trinity, telling people to hold to baptism and the Eucharist, which is so Orthodox. It's so ancient Catholic. Again, not Roman Catholic, ancient Catholic. Well, actually, the real Roman Catholic, you know, Nicaea and stuff like that, but Catholic in the old sense. In our sense. It's fantastic. What a great job ripping into the evangelicals really are soul destroying and have people gripped in fear, and it really does crush people, and we've seen it happen. But this guy Jonathan Fisk, a Lutheran, maybe one day the Lutherans might come up under the Bishop of Antioch, or the Patriarch of Antioch, the Patriarch of Serbia or Russia, or someplace like that. Or maybe they might find common communion, and they'd have apostolic succession like Tertullian. But a lot of the teachings of the apostles, I'd have to believe that this guy is somehow mystically part of the church. Because I don't mean just, oh, he's saved in some weird way, but I mean mystically part of the church. Which means truly, not in some hypothetical sense, because we are all mystically part of the church. Apparently this dude is in Naperville, Illinois. I'm in Aurora. I want to go to his church and just talk to him face to face. Because it's just shocking, the stuff that he says. I wonder if he's even ever heard of the Eastern Orthodox Church. It's his version of, I can't even call it Protestantism. His version of Catholicism is like us. It's very, very odd. Using the Protestant what nomenclatures or slang that they used. He obviously doesn't use theosis, but he talks about the idea like he knows it back and front. It's very strange. You know, it not being works based, but it being a natural growth and moving and growing towards God. He probably has Western ideas of heaven and hell, but you can't blame him for that. And hey, he used to say that some of the fathers didn't view some things like that. This guy's, for those of you who can deal with him, check him out. It's magnificent. With my electronic cigarette here. Take it easy, peace to you. May God save Serbia, Syria, Ireland, and please pray for the Copts in Egypt and all Orthodox Christians.